I'm back with another video. It's another episode of Every Album Ranked. This time I'm ranking all the albums from System of a Down from least best to overall best. Now, I will be excluding Protect the Land live in Armenia because this is an unofficial bootleg. It didn't get an official release. Now, just to be clear, this list does not reflect anyone else's opinion. It's only my personal opinion. With that out of the way, let's get on with the list. Starting off the list, we have Steal This Album from 2002. Of course, this album consists of finalized versions of songs that were intended for Toxicity, which led to the bootleg that is Toxicity 2 being made. When I reviewed this album, I said that it's not as good as its predecessors, and I later said that Mesmerize and Hypnotize were better. That doesn't mean this is a bad album by any means. I mentioned in my review that Serge Tankian and John Dolmian said that they picked this as their favorite System of a Down album. And that's fine because we all have our preferences. Now, moving up, we have Hypnotize from 2005. My latest album review focused on this album, and I mentioned that it was part 2 of a double album. At the time of making this video, this is still the most recent System of a Down album, and their most recent material to be produced by Rick Rubin, given the fact that Rick has produced all 5 of their albums. Next on the list is Mesmerize, also from 2005. This is the first half of the band's double album. In many ways, I think it's even better than its successor. It was also interesting hearing Serge Tankian and Darren Malakian go back and forth when performing lead vocals on both albums. Next album is the band's self-titled debut album from '98. This album essentially introduced the band to the mainstream, and they were one of the frontrunners of the whole nu metal genre during the '90s and the 2000s. It's also the only album of theirs where all 4 members were credited as producers. I like when bands do that because it feels like they have more control of what they're doing on their albums. And this is it. My number 1 pick for the best System of a Down album is Toxicity from 2001. Now, this is quite obvious because everyone knows about this album and how successful it was. When working on this video, it was really a toss-up between this and the debut album. It's just that this album had more experimentation, but also more drama surrounding it. When I did my review, I mentioned that I'm going to include it on my list of the best albums of the 2000s. And that is my official ranking for every System of a Down album. I know that not everyone will agree with this list, but what can you do? If you want to hear me go into further detail about this album, there's a link to my album review playlist in the description. Now is the part where I question you. What do you think of my rankings for the albums by System of a Down? Yeah, how would you rank their albums? What's your favorite album of theirs? Do you think System of a Down will make a new album someday? Let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to press the notification bell to notify future videos. Thanks for watching. I'll be back soon with another review.